Ender all set and ready to go. And his first offering to Springer, big swing and a miss. 4 strike. In terms of leadoff home runs, there aren't many better in the game. And the Rangers all too well aware. And 11 of them were against the Rangers. And he swings right through that one. It's strike. Martín ahead of him here and runs that one a little bit tight. That was Ricky Henderson. Hit 12 leadoff home runs against Cleveland back in his day. There's a swing and a miss. Springer ultimately came in to score in both games. And so this one a very different tone as Guerrero.
He ends up striking him out.
The 1-strike pitch, this one on the ground, right to Marcus Semien. And Guerrero, a lot of guys this year. We'll see if one trend takes hold in this one today as Bichette takes inside ball. The guys in this lineup, you would gather that that's the way it would go down for most of them. On the ground, third base, and a high hop for Young. His throw to first. And plus noon and 6 here, Central Time. And then head home. And that one eased in by Perez. B. Kirk, who walks more than he strikes out. He's willing to take close pitches, but he trusts.
Your eyes tend to tell you that he might throw that pitch again, so he's trying to get the chase. And Kirk's such a disciplined
up a hitter, how he goes after him, and his ability to read the hitter. Right, you can tell.
Here's the payoff, and Kirk takes ball 4, so he works himself. Took a couple of days to be at home, and now he's back, and well, he can swing it. And that one right into left field. That's a base. Have to be concerned about that. He does strike out a lot, though, and he goes right after the first pitch. All hits him at a higher clip than these Blue Jays. 0-2 the count on Sure. And he misses inside with ball 1 for Toronto. But has long since turned that around. It's been almost 60 games now. 2-2. Martín with a long look, the 3-2 pitch, and that one is strike 3 called. So there's a strikeout.
Understands how to pitch around the strike zone. Kind of like that one, right?
Ton of power, but he gets on base at a pretty steady clip, a little bit better than league outs.
Yeah, I think on any given night you can turn on Bally's to watch the highlights of all the home runs around the league.
1-2 on Espinal. Trying to finish him off here, and he does. Strike 3 called, back to back. Was first offering to Whit Merrifield. Martín gets him to swing at that one.
He broke out. He hit a few balls hard. I think he hit his first home run of the season that series.
Back in July. 1-2 pitch. And he hits this one softly out toward right field, but it's caught out there. Wow. Guessing that won't be in Miami. Is it? Just puts a little extra pep in your step. The 1-0.
Fall is a fun time of year.
Yeah. That is wide. 2. Line down the left side. Foul. Listen, we all are at the bottom of the screen. Martín's allowed 1 hit so far tonight, and that one is inside. Springer got a day off his feet. He's DHing. The 3-2 pitch. There's a slow bouncer first base. Lowe has it and slides over to first in time. Got a couple of walks yesterday to go with a double. Scored a run in the opener on base a little bit. He does have good power. Takes upstairs, 1-1. Martín deals off the plate. 2011 out of UConn. 11th overall selection. And it was just into his teenage years. 3-1 pitch. This one bounced down to third base. Long throw for Young, and it's in time. Springer's one of those players I think people from the opposing team and of course fans of whatever team he was playing for love to watch play. And he lines that one out into left. Tough play for Smith, who tried to get it on a slot.
Special.
It gives way to a good idea of how he stacks up right now. He is on his way to player of the month. It was quite a night last night for Toronto. The 1-1, that's in the dirt. Guerrero, the man at second. Infield straightaway on Bichette, and he takes right on the outside corner.
Maybe that could be one of the next rule changes.
Well, that's strike 3 called. Rangers enjoying it so far as Perez goes to work on Kirk. Kirk is one of those interesting guys, kind of emerged rapidly the AAA levels of the minor leagues and got an opportunity in 2020. He takes outside here. 2-1 pitch, and it's not like Kirk comes at you with a whole lot in being that kind of a player, and he's just perfectly willing to accept who he is, and he shoots this one right past first base. And so Kirk is on for a second time today. Walked his first time and now has a base hit.
Podcast, and Sean Casey was not known for one as a guy that had plenty of, and it was, you know, like 120, 130 at the All-Star break, and they said how many infield. That just proves that he's a pretty potent offensive player.
This one lined down the right field line, but just found that score from second on a base hit, that kind of thing. And it became obvious. There's strike 3 called on Hernandez. He had a way about him. This ball ripped into left field, a base hit for Chapman. And so the Blue Jays have a couple of men on as Kirk's
supposed to do. Manager usually covers for him in any way, shape, or form. But those are the situations where
John Wackenfuss. It's a hard name to forget.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. And there's a strike on his way into the dugout. 1-1. And you know, then I sat down on the.
I like how Sparky kind of set up that whole meeting, right? Because obviously the game's still going on.
Yeah.
And he had the.
My 5th inning has Whit Merrifield leading it off for Toronto, and he goes after the first pitch. It's a high fly ball to center field for Taveras. Well, joke with you as a hitter. Not to say that it's better or worse, but it's
in his career when it comes to the money aspect of the game today. But he was saying how they would be fined $50. I mean, the rivalry is fun, but it doesn't need to be like a hatred.
No.
Because they're. I mean, I've heard it surprising, because if you just see some brawls that happened 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Days of Bob Gibson, who would threaten his own teammates about talking and fraternizing with the.
Fantastic game at Yankee Stadium. Excitement for the young man. As Bradley lifts this foul. Might be playable. Young has room, and he'll. You know, they were upset. They ripped him. This guy doesn't even like us. And so, I mean, that's part of it too, right? I mean, you can't. Springer, the leadoff hitter, 0 for 2 today, and he takes downstairs 2-0.
Clubhouse guy, you know, when we were playing, say we were playing the Tigers, do it with pitchers. I did it with Verlander, and I never got a ball back. And that is always on high alert, to where you're never gonna, you know, relent and sign a ball for a guy that I should have signed a ball and sent it over.
That would have been the class move. There's ball 4.
Then he would have drilled you probably.
His face was kind of in his hands. I don't know if he was trying to hide, because obviously who doesn't. So I thought I'd give you mine, and he tried to put it on his hand when he wasn't really.
Here it comes, and that is 1-2. That's outside. That was in our Choctaw Marquee matchup, because Springer off first, pretty decent lead. The 2-2 pitch, and this one is pulled to third base. Good pick by Young. Long throw to first in time.
Emily, are you aware of what type of equipment that might actually?
The thing is, just don't cross the streams. I understand. Whatever. How is he not left-handed? This one flared out over the infield into right field. Base hit for Bo Bichette. Has walked and singled today. And takes right on the inside corner.
Martín Pérez and his outcomes with various umpires, and he has a former catcher. How much did you pay attention to the guy who's behind the plate and the type of zone that he would have?
Get a strike. But you had brought something up earlier in the ball game about Martín. When he was so consistent, both guys understood who's behind the plate. Hey, this guy likes to call the pitch wider. So I want.
And you go ahead and just keep pumping it right here, and outside, inside, whatever it may be.
And it's similar to how you attack it.
You know, a lot of times you hear, well, you know, I knew that he was going to be looking for the fastball, so I'd go with the off speed.
A big bat added to the lineup today for Toronto, and he hammers that one foul. And the pitch from Pérez. This one out to the alley in left field. That gets down. Base hit and bangs up against the fence. Bichette into third. They'll wave him. Here comes Chapman, 1 for 2. And he holds off. Did he go? Yeah, he did.
Teoscar Hernandez away for Francisco Liriano, who's a pretty good arm at the time. This was back in 2.
That was another one. They flat just released him. And then Ben Zobrist, another guy that they traded. Espinal, the batter, and he takes strike 1. Hernandez with a lead off second base, and the 1-strike pitch. That one a comebacker right to Pérez. Well, that was a